leverage your skills, package your knowledge, and monetize it.
If the system taught you, it probably doesn't make money. You were educated, tested, graded, diplomated, and now you can't even afford to live alone. Because here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to say out loud. If the system taught it to you, it probably doesn't make money, at least not for you. They gave you Shakespeare, calculus, the water cycle, and told you this is how you succeed. But they left out how to bill for your time, how to sell your knowledge, and how to not be financially obliterated by adulthood. Convenient, isn't it? See? The education system isn't broken. It's working exactly as intended. It was never designed to make you wealthy. It was built to make you useful. To someone else. Obedient, predictable, trained just enough to run someone else's machine, but never enough to build your own. So while you were memorizing the structure of a plant cell, someone else was learning how to sell digital products, how to write copy that converts, how to turn their ideas into assets. And guess what? They're not smarter than you. They just didn't play by the same script. If you've ever Googled how to make money online or how to monetize your skills, you've probably noticed something. No one talks about what school taught you, because school taught you to compete for approval. But the real world pays you to solve pain. The formula, simple and deliberately excluded from the classroom. 1. Figure out what you're good at. 2. Identify who needs it. 3. Package it. 4. Sell it. That's it. No six-figure student loan required. No frame degree needed. It's just value, translated into cash. Now think back to the last time you were broke. It's not a little tight on money. I mean broke. Like checking your account before buying groceries, broke. Now imagine someone offered you $500 just to teach them something you already know. Something you've done so many times, you could do it half asleep. You've probably helped friends or coworkers with this skill for free, just being nice, while others far less skilled than you charge real money for it. It's not your generosity that's keeping you broke, it's your conditioning. Let's be brutally honest. No one's paying for your GPA, but they will pay for your ability to write persuasively, make their business look good, fix a problem. They're tired of dealing with offer clarity they can't find anywhere else. And here's the most twisted part. You already know something that solves someone's pain, but the system trained you to undervalue it, because if you believed your skills had market value, you'd stop asking for permission. And the system can't afford that. So it feeds you just enough insecurity to keep you docile, while people with less talent but more audacity charge $997 for a 4-hour Zoom workshop. They're not better, they're just bolder. Where's the trap they don't want you to see? You keep buying more knowledge, courses, books, certifications, thinking the next one will finally make you ready. But the truth is, you don't need more knowledge. You need to package what you already know and start charging for it. That means turning your process into a framework teaching beginners what you now take for granted, becoming a shortcut in a world full of noise. You don't have to be an expert, you just need to be useful. And useful people get paid, unless they've been convinced they're not allowed to ask. So the next time someone tells you to go back to school to get ahead, ask them this. If school is the answer, why are so many educated people still broke? You don't need another degree. You don't need another certificate. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to stop waiting for permission and start monetizing what you already know. Because at the end of the day, what's keeping you stuck isn't a lack of skills. It's the belief that you're not allowed to charge for them. Kill that belief and start charging like your rent depends on it. As it probably does.
Turn your experience into a solution people will pay for.
Let's get one thing straight. You've already suffered. You've already made the mistakes, lived through the chaos, and learned the hard way. So why exactly aren't you getting paid for it? We live in a world where people will drop $997 on a webinar about finding your inner clarity. But you, with real-life experience, real scars, and real solutions, are sitting there second-guessing yourself like you need someone's approval to charge money? Let me be painfully blunt. If you've survived it, solved it, or screwed it up enough times to know better, someone out there will pay you to skip the pain. That's the game. But no, you were told to move on, to get over it, to learn from it quietly and get back to work. Translation. Let the system benefit from your suffering while you keep your mouth shut. Because if you ever realized how valuable your story actually is, You might stop being a quiet cog in someone else's machine, and that's a threat. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your experience is a product. Yes, you. Your embarrassing failures, your messy detours, your awkward beginnings. People aren't paying for perfection. They're paying for shortcuts. They're paying for the map. And you've got it, even if you don't believe it yet. Do you know why the same 3 gurus keep popping up on your feed? Because they were smart enough to package their messy, painful learning curves into overpriced PDFs and 6-week coaching programs. And you've got the same or better insight, but you've been taught to keep it quiet, to stay humble, to feel like sharing your experience is somehow narcissistic. Newsflash, it's not narcissism, it's value. But the system can't monetize you if you realize that. So instead, it feeds you the lie of more credentials. Another degree, another course, another badge of honor to hang on your LinkedIn page like it actually pays your rent. Here's what actually pays the bills. Solving problems people hate having. And who better to solve those problems than someone who lived them? You think your struggle is a weakness, but to someone else, your survival is a blueprint. You overcame burnout? Someone's drowning in it right now? You escaped toxic relationships? Someone's stuck and looking for the exit? You lost everything and rebuilt from scratch? That's not just trauma. That's marketable wisdom. But instead of selling the map, you're apologizing for having walked the path. And that right there is how society keeps you broke and obedient. Because if you ever stopped and said, hey, I've been through this, I can help you avoid it, you might become dangerous. You might become independent. Worse, you might become wealthy. So here's what you do. You stop treating your experience like emotional baggage and start treating it like a solution. You break it down. You extract the insights. You package it into something someone can use. A course, a framework, a consultation, a guide, a tool. You turn what hurt you into something that helps others. And yes, you charge for it. Why? Because you paid for that wisdom in time, in pain, and in sleepless nights. You earned it. And if someone else wants to avoid those same traps, you shouldn't feel guilty for turning that into income. That's not greed. That's called return on suffering. So the next time you think your past disqualifies you from making money, remember this: your past is your product. Your mess is your monetization. Your scars are your strategy. Your story might be someone else's lifeline. If you stop hiding it and start charging for it. Stop waiting to be an expert. You've already lived it. I'll sell the solution. Because in the real world, people don't buy perfection. They buy pain relief, and you've got the cure.
Create a digital product around what you already know.
Here's a $1 million idea nobody wants to admit works. Take something you already know, slap it into a digital file, and sell it to people who are too lazy or overwhelmed to figure it out themselves. Welcome to the beautiful world of digital products, where your knowledge becomes currency and your brain finally stops working just for likes and validation. Now I know what you're thinking, but who would buy something from me? Yes, the voice of indoctrinated humility. The same mindset that keeps you underpaid, overworked, and quietly resentful. Let me break it to you gently. People buy digital products every single day from people dumber than you. Yep. Someone's out there making $20,000 a month selling an ultimate Notion template for creatives. Another guy is monetizing a PDF called How I Fix My Sleep Schedule. Meanwhile, you, with years of experience, real-life results, and something actually useful to say, are over here wondering if you're qualified enough. Spoiler, you are. And the system is banking on you never realizing that. Because once you package your knowledge, you stop being a cog. You stop trading time for money. You stop waiting for permission to earn. But they don't want that. They want you in a cycle of consumption, not creation. Always learning, never monetizing. Because the moment you realize your brain is a business, you become competition. Let's get tactical. What do you know how to do that someone else struggles with? You organized your chaotic life using Google Sheets? Great, sell the template. You figured out how to land freelance clients without cold emailing 1,000 people? Cool, make it a guide. You beat burnout, built habits, or got your finances under control? Congratulations, that's a framework people will gladly pay for. It doesn't have to be a 10-hour masterclass with drone footage and background music by Hans Zimmer. It just has to solve a problem. Clear pain, clear result, clear price. But of course, you've been trained to believe that value equals suffering. If something was easy for you, it can't be worth money.
Monetize your experience. Turn lessons into leverage.
Let's play a game. Think back to your biggest financial mistake. That dumb thing you did, the investment you shouldn't have made, the business you shouldn't have trusted, the time you ignored your gut and listened to some expert in a suit. Painful, right? Now, here's the twist. That disaster is worth money. No, seriously. In the twisted economy we live in, your trauma is intellectual property. If you have the guts to package it, that mistake, that failure, that rock bottom moment you swore you'd never talk about again, it's leverage. Because guess what? You paid the price so someone else doesn't have to. And that, my friend, is monetizable gold. But the system trained you to be ashamed of your losses, to hide your scars, to put on the mask of perfection and pretend you never screwed up. And that's exactly how they keep you broke. Because the second you realize that experience is a product, you become dangerous. You go from consumer to creator, from victim to architect, from story to strategy. Let me make it clearer. The world doesn't care about your resume. It cares about your results. And nothing builds trust faster than someone saying, "Yeah, I messed up. I learned. Now here's how you can avoid it." There's an audience out there praying for the wisdom you earned the hard way. They're Googling solutions to the exact problems you've already solved. They don't need perfection. They need proof. They need you, raw, real, and ruthless with the truth. So what's stopping you? All right. That little voice in your head saying, "Who am I to teach anyone?" You're the one who lived through it, who paid in time, sweat, tears, and probably overdraft fees. That gives you authority. That gives you insight. It gives you credibility. No textbook ever will. But sure, keep that wisdom locked up. Let it rot in your memory while you chase the next shiny trend. Keep pretending your experience doesn't matter while some 22-year-old on TikTok charges $297 for life coaching. Here's the brutal truth. People less experienced than you are already monetizing lessons they haven't even fully learned. Meanwhile, you, with actual scars and actual receipts, are giving yours away for free. Enough. It's time to flip the script. Turn the lessons into leverage. Turn the pain into a product. Turn your mistakes into someone else's roadmap. You don't need another course. You don't need a guru. You don't need to ask for permission. You need to look in the mirror and realize you are already sitting on valuable intellectual capital. The only reason it's not paying you yet is because you've been taught to keep quiet. Break that conditioning. Monetize your experience. Turn your story into a solution. Sell the scars. Because here's the thing, no one tells you. Experience doesn't depreciate. It compounds if you let it.
Build a personal brand. Authority is the new currency.
Let's get one thing straight. If you're not building a personal brand, you're building someone else's empire. They're not even sending you a thank you card. You think being low profile is humble? Cute. In today's economy, invisibility is poverty. Because here's the truth. The system doesn't want you to realize. Authority prints money, not hard work. Not degrees. Not how long you've been grinding in silence. Authority. And what is a personal brand? It's your digital reputation. It's your loud, unapologetic flag planted in the noisy battlefield of the internet that screams, "This is who I am. This is what I know. Attention or get left behind." But of course, you've been told branding is for influencers and wannabe gurus. You've been sold the lie that if you just do good work, people will magically find you and throw money at your feet. Spoiler alert, they won't. Because the algorithm doesn't care about your resume, it cares about attention. And attention goes to those who show up, speak up, and stand out. So while you're busy playing humble in the shadows, some guy who read half a book on psychology is out there with 200K followers, selling an online course for $497 on confidence. Let that sink in. He doesn't know more than you. He's just louder, and now he's richer. Because in the age of digital warfare, credibility is manufactured, not bestowed. You build it, one piece of content at a time, one bold opinion at a time. One line in the sand that says, "I've got something to say, and I'm not afraid to say it." Meanwhile, you're afraid of what your old boss will think if you post on LinkedIn. You're worried that your cousin's roommate might roll their eyes at your Instagram reel. Newsflash. They're already broke. Why are you listening to them? Let's call this what it is. Fear disguised as modesty. timidity masquerading as humility, and the price of that irrelevance. Because money moves toward visibility. People don't buy what they can't see. They don't trust what they don't hear. And they sure as hell don't follow someone who won't even back their own voice. But if you dare to build your personal brand, to put your flag in the ground and own your expertise, the game changes. Suddenly opportunities find you. Clients chase you. Speaking gigs, interviews, partnerships, all because you stopped hiding and started owning your story. And no, you don't need a perfect logo or a 10-step funnel or some overpriced coach. You need clarity, conviction, and the courage to hit post even when your voice shakes. Because every piece of content you create is a silent army working for you while you sleep. Every strong opinion is a filter. It repels the wrong people and magnetizes the right ones. And every bold statement builds a bridge between obscurity and opportunity. Your name is your asset. Your story is your leverage. Your voice is your weapon. Use them, or be replaced by someone who will. So no, you don't need another certification. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You need to get loud, get seen, and get paid. Because in this economy, attention is money, and authority is the new currency. Build it or stay broke.